Good morning. Our scripture today is Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Guys, that's awesome. I love it. I love it particularly because today's the 23rd of January, and already this month, by Thursday, I will have been to 3 funerals. 3 funerals of women that I love deeply. And that impacted my life. And I got to watch Psalm 23 lived out in their lives, in their families' lives. And it was such a blessing. And so this morning in my quiet time, I was just pondering all that. And the end of verse 4 just really stuck out to me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And I thought, that doesn't sound very comforting to me, a rod and a staff. So I did a little bit of digging. And what I found out was so cool. Because I was thinking like a woman and not like an ancient sheep. Because to an ancient sheep, a rod and staff would be terribly comforting because it would be in the hands of their shepherd, number one. But what they used them for. And some of this you may know. But the rod, the shepherd used the rod to count the sheep. Isn't that cool? So can't you just see Jesus counting his sheep? Know why he can do that? Well, John chapter 10, the whole chapter is about Jesus, good shepherd. But in the very first part of it, it talks about he's the gate. He can count the sheep because he's the very gate. He's the only way in. So he knows who's in and out. It's not the other sheep doing the counting. It's the shepherd. I love that. It's awesome. It's practical. So the other things that the rod was used for, first one was discipline. It's interesting because today's the 23rd, so I was reading the 23rd chapter of the book of Proverbs. In verse 13 it talks about disciplining your kids with a rod, and God said it, not me. But that word rod there is the same Hebrew word that's used here in Psalm 23. It's a rod of discipline. What do you think about that? If you've been a Christian very long, you know what this feels like. You start heading towards sin, you start heading towards trouble, and you feel that rod keeping you in. Well, if you're bullheaded and you keep going, that rod gets stronger and stronger, hurts more. God is so good. He works with us. I love that. So it's a rod of discipline, but guys, that same rod, this was my favorite. Think about how a shepherd uses his rod to protect us from predators, to protect the sheep from predators. Fights with it. Jesus fights for us. He uses that rod to keep Satan at bay. I love that. All kinds of things coming at us that we can't see. And Jesus, our good shepherd, is protecting us with the same rod he uses to discipline us. That's awesome. So that's the rod. The shepherd's staff, you can kind of get a visual of it. He uses it to walk, and he uses it to rest on. It's a guide, but it provides rest. So both of those things in our shepherd's hand together, so powerful, so powerful. So here's the challenge. First of all, make sure you're in the sheep pen. Settle that before anything else. And then secondly, stay close to the shepherd. Keep your eye on him, on his staff. He's so good. Thank you.